All right, hello. Today we're going to be looking at the kingdoms. We looked at classifications last. Now we're looking at the specific kingdoms. There's 6 kingdoms we still study in today's world of biology. All right, so we're going to start off just looking at the characteristics. All right, so first one is archaeobacteria. These guys, like most bacteria, they're unicellular. These are prokaryotes, again, like most bacteria. The big thing to know about these guys is they have a cell wall without peptoglycan. Okay, it's a carbohydrate. But what makes it, with not having peptoglycan, these guys live in really, really extreme environments. And then also archaeobacteria means they're the olders. Archaea means old or ancient. So examples here are like methogens and halophiles. These guys live in like extreme temperatures, extreme environments, like with a lot of methane vents at the bottom of the ocean, that type of stuff. All right. Like here is a black smoker at the end, under the water, lots of methane. All right. Eubacteria is next. Eubacteria is new bacteria. These are the newer guys. Okay. These guys have a peptoglycan in their cell wall. So that's the big difference, right? So the archaeobacteria, no peptoglycan. Eubacteria has peptoglycan. This is the kind that causes like a lot of illnesses like streptococcus, strep throat, E. coli, some food, right? Here's a lot of other bacterias, archaeobacteria and eubacteria. We don't really get into the shapes and all that type of stuff anymore. We used to, but we will in the class a little bit. All right, the next is protist. These are mostly unicellular. These are eukaryotes. So from now on, we're going to be looking at eukaryotes. Their cell walls have cellulose, and some have chloroplast. So some actually can do a little bit of autotroph, right? The best examples of this is amoebas and paramecium. If you're in class, or you can probably look them up online, there's great slides for microscope use for these. They're really cool looking. So protists are really unique looking. Here's a couple examples of them. All right, next is fungus. These are guys you probably see a lot. So mushrooms are a great example. Those are the multicellular. There's also one unicellular one, and that's yeast, the one that stuff is in bread, right? These are also eukaryotes. All of these are heterotrophs, and their cell walls are made of chitin, no chloroplast. So no chloroplast, no autotrophs, no photosynthesis. Examples, mushrooms and mold would be the multicellular. Yeast is the only unicellular one. Here's a couple fungus things. Yay, mushrooms. Next is plants. Oh, they have plantae. Multicellular, all of them. These are all autotrophs. So they have a cell wall made of cellulose. And these guys have the chloroplast. They have to have it to do autotroph and to do photosynthesis, that type of stuff. Examples are plants like mosses, ferns, flowering plants, trees, grasses, all plants. You know what plants are. Right? There are a couple that like sort of iffy and go back and forth, but those are more the protists that have plant-like activities. All right? Plants are so pretty. All right, the last is animals or animalia. All multicellular again. All heterotrophs, so no cell walls, no chloroplast, all are heterotrophs. So examples are like insects, worms, fish, birds, reptiles, amphibians, mammals like us. Also sponges, all right? A lot of people don't think sponges and coral, but sponges and coral are both animals because they have no cell wall, they have no chloroplast, and they're heterotrophs, all right? So those things are animals, all right? So just remember that. Lots of different animals going on in the world, lots of uniqueness. But this is a really important PowerPoint and presentation because it's going to cover everything you need to know for this little mini unit on classification and kingdom, right? You need to know all the different characteristics of the kingdoms, and it will help you greatly on today's activity. All right? For the activity today, we'll be working on this worksheet here. It's pretty self-explanatory, but just go through here and answer this. Use the notes and the internet because some of the stuff you're going to need to find. A lot of them say cut and paste one picture. You can take it off my PowerPoint or you can find one on the internet. Doesn't matter to me. But you will have to do a little bit of research. So archaeobacteria, remember they're prokaryotes and they're unicellular. How do they obtain food? Just look back in the notes, internet, whatever you want to do. Examples, I gave a couple in the PowerPoint, or you could use internet. Cut and paste, my PowerPoint internet is fine. And where are they found at? And remember, archaeobacteria are those ones that have no peptoglycan, so they live in extreme areas, high temperatures, high pH, low pH, methane heavy, that type of stuff. They're all around like Old Faithful in Yellowstone. So, and then keep going down, answer the same similar type questions on each of the different kingdoms, all right? But you will need to cut and paste pictures. So this one's due next week. This one's not due the end of this week like normal ones. This one is due next Tuesday. Okay, because this is a little bit larger of an assignment. All right. I don't think it's too much work really, but I can give you a couple of extra days to make sure you get it done. If you get it done earlier, awesome. High five to you guys. All right. If you have any questions, like always, email me and we will work things out and we'll get it figured out for you. Hope you're doing well.